Hey, okay. I need a smoke with this one because this one is some kind of hard for me to speak about. Anyways, by now, many knows of you how I speak, how I write patterns about dark stuff, but I share most positive about spirituality, about awakenings. It's like as light workers being, we make the spiritual stuff look so much beautiful, that is so much bright, that we keep spreading light, we give hope, but it's like we are not mentioning how we get here. It seems like we are forgetting to mention what truth awakenings means. The thing is, I'm just explaining stuff about myself and how is and stuff like that. I am not triggering no one as their own beliefs. We all have ours. It doesn't mean because I say it, it make it so. I will just speak from my experience, since I am viewed one with high vibration. Anyways, I have my moments. What I do is I never speak of those moments. When I'm going through it, I will speak about them. Once I jump those cycles, I have an analytical mind, so I do that so I would know every answer of each aspect. At this time, I'm gonna say it as exactly how it is while I'm going through it, because there are some stuff, dark stuff about spirituality, about awakenings, that they need to be addressed, which it may help many. It may help some understanding what truth awakening is, what dark night of the souls means, because those places are not a beautiful places to be. They are not easily penetrated. In fact, they are very hard to jump. It's because the thoughts will start having control on our body, that we start to maneuver by our thoughts, and our thoughts are not very nice. Sometimes to be in our thoughts, that is our worst location to be at. Our worst enemy lives in there, inside our minds. It will make us see, feel, or hear things that they are not really there. It will make us feel fear of what we are experiencing, especially during a rude awakening. It will make us go in a very dark space, in a very dark place in our minds, and we can be, no matter where we're at, still we start to see confusion, we start to be afraid of our own reality, we start to see no way out, and some of these thoughts They are so manipulative on ourselves that it will take whole control over us. If one is not aware of such, the thing is, if you are going through such dark times in your mind space, that you keep thinking of what happens, that your mind keep triggering pain, that your mind, we keep speaking about healing, yet we are not explaining the roots. Yes, that is healing when you start to see stuff, but healing is nothing easy. Healing is very, very dark, and it's very hard, especially at the beginning phases of those steps. It will make you feel so confused. It will make you feel as if you are losing your mind. It will make you feel that you are not worthy, that you are not deserving. It will make you feel that you are not loved. It will make you feel that you are an outsider. It will make you feel as if you are literally a black sheep, no matter with whom you are. It will make you feel as if no one can understand you. That is because you will not be being understanding yourself. The more you will try to explain it, the more confusion it will be felt, because the people outside yourself, they can see your skin, they can see inside of you. No one can understand that except us as who we are. That is why solitude is very important in one's life for a such period of time, until we start understanding ourselves. It's just that in solitude we meet ourselves once again. It's just because we are conditioned by different beliefs that they are not ours, so we keep building patterns in our own mind of what is and what's not, what's right and what's wrong. There is no wrong, there is no right, there is no what is, there is no nothing. It's just, it is what it is really. Make peace with it is what it is. Many are searching for that happy place. The happy thing is just momentarily. It doesn't stick 24 hours a day. Joy is what stay, peace is what stay, not a happy, that happy time. If you one will keep being happy, laughing all the time, it will get you exhausted. You will get bored still. It doesn't make sense for one to search for happiness, search for peace instead. Search for peace inside your sadness. Make peace with that. It's fine to be sad. That it means living. Don't suppress your thoughts. Start writing your thoughts down. It will be very helpful. The moment you write your thoughts, whatever it is, dark as much as they are dark, because we all have dark aspect of us. I am considered one light being, but I know I had dark thoughts, and I started to write them down. What happened is, when one will write down your inner knowing, your inner thoughts, one will shift into an observer. You start to observe yourself, you start to understand yourself, speak with yourself. That is not crazy to do so. That is something essential, to speak with yourself, but understand the battle from within, as if you are at war with yourself. In fact, you are not at war with nobody. Everything comes from within. Our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts, everything is creating in ourselves. Start understanding your pattern, your past wounds. Go to the roots. Not so you will hurt yourself. Yes, there will be pain, but go to the roots, so you will understand that pain from where it's coming. You will understand how your character was built. That is character development. That is nothing of witchery and such. To understand yourself, it's a very powerful thing for one to do, because then you can start understanding other. Empathy will be evolving in yourself. One will start to understand that pain resides in every one of us. Each and every one of us, we have our story. Every one of us, we was hurt at some point, but now is the time that the awakening is happening, and many are going through a rude awakenings which they don't know what that is, which is it's putting us in a dark night of the soul. When you start walking differently, one must be aware of those stuff, one must know what this stuff means. Go search it about, go start looking about patterns and stuff, and dark night of the soul, and shadow work, and how it's done, because it won't be easy. It will make you feel that you want out from this life at some point, because the ego will be dying, and when the ego will start dying, it's like it will start to scream most, that all that pain, all that grief, all that hurts, the thoughts inside of your mind, it will be hiding. All you have to do is just sit down and let that come up. Don't suppress it, don't nothing until it will snap. Only don't let those thoughts, emotions and stuff that you will feel take control over your body, because universal damage will be made. Start releasing guilt, fear, shame, resentment, hurt, all those thought patterns. Start programming yourself different by different, knowing different belief. Start listening to peaceful music, so it will shift your conscious. Anyway, I am saying this because some stuff I could have said it before, but I didn't want to get this deep. It was like a dark shadow of me was thinking that no one is my responsibility. I don't need to save no one. I am already doing so much, which now something happened that spirituality or whatever it is, I am in a spiritual jail. That kind of thoughts which I can understand from where it's coming, saying such stuff can save a life, because the reality is no one knows what we are going through deep within. It can be the person next to you. When those moments happens and stuff, usually when we see people, we put on a mask, we start acting like if it's nothing is happening, if that we are fine, when the reality is that we won't be. And even if we say that we are not fine, we wouldn't be understood, because when I say everyone must save themselves, it's just because no one can come inside of us with us. That is us only who can do the work. That's why I say save yourself. Loving yourself means, as I put it, as in learn to love yourself most, be free from all that you hate inside yourself, start knowing who you are not, start making peace with every situation. You don't make peace with people, you make peace with the situation itself, at how it was. That was our lessons. Every karmic cycle was our lesson for growth. Everyone in our life, when we say we did it alone, it doesn't mean we did it alone. Literally, none of us did it alone. Everyone, if it was positive, if they was helping us at some point in our life, that means help. And if they was karmic, if they hurted us or something, that was a karmic lessons for us to live. They was as a lessons in our life. So literally we come to where we're at through each other. But when I say everyone alone, it's from deep within, those shadows aspect that we hide from people, those thoughts that we don't share with people. We all have them. That's what means alone. try to shift your perception, because if you keep feeding your thoughts will keep growing in a negative aspect, and that is who will you end up to be. Start use for example, I shifted my perception. I started with this thing because I used to have very, very dark thoughts. I was very dark being from within. I always had a smiling face, but deep down I was broken. And I started to say this thing: everything I see, everything I want, it's all I see. Everything I see is within me. And it's like I was cutting that patterns down. Start trying, when you're at that thoughts, start to block it, not suppress it, just block it for a while. It will give you the ability to reprogram your mind. It will give you the ability that you will start to become conscious of those thoughts. It's something that there is something inside of our minds that you will become aware of what you are thinking, and that is the beginning step of evolution in oneself. For me, it worked that way. I started to recognize my own voice. I started to recognize the thoughts that I was having, which then I understood that there was something much more bigger than my own thoughts. And every time I started to play with my mind, I started to figure out my emotions, my grief, my sadness, from where they are coming from. I started to go back within my mind. At that time, I couldn't even understand what I was doing, but what I was doing is I was being awakened. Spirituality, we don't choose it, it comes to us. Once you will be awakened, you can go back to sleep. It's like you will be seeing something, but you don't choose to go for it. It's just you will start going through it. And it's very wise to start studying such, start understanding what is happening to you, start studying empaths and narcs, because the word is based on empath and not narcs. So you will understand where you're standing. Healing, I don't believe that some will be left behind only by conscious, that will cause stagnation by delays. But then divine timing is different for everyone. Everyone have that within ourselves. We can see as someone as if they are sleeping, but then they must be going through something from within, which the fear of speaking it out, their ego will be so intact with them. It's not easy to shatter the ego side of us. The thing is, many of us was formed through past trauma. Many of us has gone through trauma at a very young age. Trauma is not just what happens to you at that moment in time. Many believe that they had gone through a trauma, speak it as just what happened at such period. Well, no. Trauma is how you walk after, how it keeps growing inside your mind, how your emotions will be after that such action was made, what you have witnessed. It may be mentally, physically, emotionally, trauma, whatever trauma it is based, we continue to bring that with us through growth, which it will put us on stagnation. Start understanding traumas. What kind of traumas did you have? How it did affect you? That is the roots of everything. Many of us, we ended up on addictions, which addictions is not the problem. The problem is before the story that happened. Everyone had a story, an addiction is us searching for an escape of our realities, because if one is happy at where they're at, if one is fully happy within themselves, they won't look at drugs as a mean of living. But many of us did search for the roots before that pattern started. That is how you heal yourself. Anyway, this, I'm gonna leave it here, and blessed be. So yeah, and healing across